In this video, I will be talking about my 5 favorite TV shows right now. So my criteria is the TV show has to be in live action and it has to be currently producing seasons that have released or will release soon. Shows that got canceled or just ended will not be on my list. Also, I have not seen every show in the world, so some of the best shows like Ozark and any Apple streaming service show will not be on my list. I do hope to see Ozark soon, by the way, but I just never had the time to see it, unfortunately. So with that all out of
With
the way,
me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
coming in number 5, I have Cobra Kai. I'm really surprised at how good Cobra Kai has been so far. I mean, it had its set of problems, most notably in season 4, where I felt the series was a bit stale at times, and I was getting tired of the whole Daniel and Johnny going at each other's throats for the 4th time now when they were supposed to be working together this season. Also, it was kind of over the top at times, but this show is still really good and one of my favorite shows on television right now. Also, season 4 ended in a great way. I can't wait for season 5, even with the disappointing season 4. I really liked the first 3 Karate Kid films, and I'm glad that there's finally a sequel series to the OG set of films, and it's so freaking good. This show adds so much depth to that world, and it's such a great TV series. Coming in number 4, I have Succession. Many say Succession is the best show on television right now, and while I find the show to be amazing, I wouldn't say it's my favorite show on TV right now, and I do understand why people find it to be so popular. This show is beautifully written with such interesting characters. The show is chaotic at times following the Roy family, and it's weird how the show makes me like characters at one moment and then hate them the next. But they all have a great dynamic with one another, and it's entertaining to see how this chaotic mess of a story ends up every week when it airs. The only character I do not like, and I don't think I will ever like, is Logan Roy. I mean, he's a piece of crap who ruined his kids. Who would like such an a-hole? So I have a prediction. So I think eventually Greg will become the CEO and tell everyone to go F off and have Tom as his right-hand man. That would be such a great ending to the series. Season 4 looks to be the best yet, as Kendall looks to finally be getting the emotional support he deserves with his siblings, all knowing about his struggles and all that. But all the Roy family kids are going to be going up against Logan, which should be a great showdown. Also, Tom and Greg look to be with Logan against the Roy children next season, so that should be really interesting to see how all of that plays out. I think we all know how it is going to play out though, because Logan always wins. Coming in at number 3, I have Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is super underrated. I do not understand why no one really talks about this show. It's intense and it keeps you at the edge of your seat, always wondering what's going to happen next. I guess people think this is a boring show because people think it's just about lawyers, but it's so much more than just lawyer stuff. This show also focuses on Mike from Breaking Bad and his early days with the cartel. We're also introduced to a new character that wasn't in the Breaking Bad show, named Nacho, who is like our 3rd main character in this series, and it's interesting seeing all these characters change and grow throughout the series. Like, from where they were in season 1 to season 5, so much character development upon those 3 characters. I would say Better Call is just as good as Breaking Bad, but it's different in many ways. It's such a great show, and it could stand on its own without Breaking Bad, but I recommend watching Breaking Bad because it's a great show. Better Call Saul is probably the best prequel series of anything I have ever seen, like better than prequel movies and prequel shows. People need to follow the way Better Call Saul does a prequel, because you can't get any better than this. Better Call Saul is such a great show and should have won a ton of awards by now, but we all know the award shows are pretty much a big joke. With the way season 5 ended, I can't wait to see season 6 and to see how all of this will play out and to see the final 2-part season of the show. I just hope Nacho won't die, and maybe we can get one more spin-off after this show with him as the star. That's my hope. Coming at number 2, I have young Sheldon. Yes, I have a sitcom on my list. I know this list is really subjective, and I get that was just raving about Better Call Saul, but Better Call Saul is just a better made show. You know, like it's probably the best prequel series I've seen of all time. Obviously, I love Young Sheldon, but that's a sitcom. So overall, I think Better Call Saul is the better show, but I like Young Sheldon more. And yeah, like I love sitcoms, and this sitcom is a prequel to one of my all-time favorite shows in The Big Bang Theory. This show is really funny, and it has a lot of heart to it, which not many sitcoms are like anymore. Sitcoms these days are they're either not funny at all, with a ton of cringe, or they are missing the heart that great sitcoms have. But this show has everything I want in a sitcom. It's really interesting watching this family grow, and we will be hitting a dark period in the show very soon, so I'm curious how the show will handle such a dark story. I also hope they don't retcon that story from ever happening. If you watch the show, you know what I am talking about. But yes, this is the best sitcom on TV right now to me, and it's the second best show on television. I highly recommend it because I know people don't watch the show enough. Coming in number one, I have Peacemaker. Originally, I thought this show was going to be a limited series, and I was going to be disappointed that this show was not going to be on this list because it was going to be a limited series and that does not count. But nope, it got announced for a second season, which means this is going to be a long running TV series on HBO Max. And I am so happy that it did. If you told me after the Suicide Squad that of all the characters to get a TV show, Peacemaker would be the one to get a show and it would be my favorite show on TV right now, I would think you were nuts, but this show was freaking awesome. I loved every character in this show, and I feel the characters were all great together. I was genuinely sad and upset when characters died and almost died. Heck, I was even invested into a freaking eagle, for crying out loud. This show is the best thing James Gunn has ever done, because he did such a great job of balancing the comedy and serious scenes for the most part. I feel my problem with James Gunn movies is sometimes I feel he does not do a great job of balancing both of the comedy and serious moments, but it seems James Gunn's style works perfectly for TV. At least that's how I feel about it. Also, the action was some of the best action I've ever seen in a superhero project. It was insane. The music in this show was awesome as well. It's everything I am looking for in a series right now. This is the best superhero series I've seen since probably Arrow. So yeah, currently I find Peacemaker to be the best show on television right now. Yeah, originally Mandalorian was going to be at my number 5 spot, but then I realized I freaking loved Peacemaker. I just couldn't get that show out of my head because it was so good. Also, that intro that Peacemaker has is one of the best intros I've seen in a TV show in such a long time. I hope I did not forget about a show, but I think I got all of the main shows that I feel is the best TV show right now.